Very good.
We have,
actually, I'm getting over the terrible, dreaded Australian flu, which is why I look like a bomb's hit me, and why I might sound like I'm doing some sort of, alcohol advert with this.
Okay.
I don't normally have.
Okay. So with us today, Clem Chambers, you are the CEO of ADVFN.
And also online.
Yes, and onlineblockchain.io. So I'd like to first of all introduce what you do. Tell us a little bit about your latest venture.
I'm the CEO, so basically I just shout at everybody and
That's
tell
very
them to
good.
work and basically whip them and tell them they can't go home until the project's finished. And I arrange the pizzas to be pushed under the door so that they can eat while they're working.
Fair enough. And how about the actual project?
Well, the online blockchain is working on projects, but the one that is out there in the wild is +1 coin, which is I call it a social affirmation coin, but it enables people to upvote content, and that upvote then obviously gives it more profile on the site and enables people to boost content they like, show their appreciation for content they like, and also curate the content they like. And by doing that, the actual coin's obviously worth money, so the content owners actually get an income from that, and the site also gets part of that share, depending on what it wants from that flow of coins. So the site earns, the content owner earns, and also the people on the site can earn because they can mine the coin. So it's a ecosystem piece. It enables a website, doesn't matter if it's tiny or large, to bring more money to the table for itself and to its users and to its content providers. So, it's a very exciting project. It's built on a blockchain. It uses a HMQ algo, so it's resistant from being strip mined by ASICs. And, it's already implemented on ADVFN in the UK. It will be rolled out on ADVFN's other products globally. And that is basically the reference site for other content providers to look at, see how it works, know that it works, understand how much they can earn from it, for content people to understand how much they can earn from it, and also to get the general crypto community involved with this, something which brings basically brings resources to everybody, which is obviously one of the beautiful things about crypto in general.
Okay, you have restrictions on what type of content is pushed?
Well, we haven't got to that point yet, and obviously if anybody wants to have a site about shooting animals with guns and while they're taking drugs, we're not really going to be wanting to talk to them. But yes, there's always content that we wouldn't support, but that's an edge case. There's 95% of the market is more than good enough for us.
Yeah. But you have control over, so this blockchain is a distributed ledger type of blockchain?
Yeah, so it's out there. So effectively, we have no control over the blockchain per se. Online blockchain's actual mission is to build functionality onto blockchains. So, if we had an amazing idea to build something onto Bitcoin's blockchain, we would. We've started this particular blockchain, and it's the technology to build functionality and a use case on blockchains that we're interested in. Now, I'm just going to interrupt because whatever you're doing is putting a big clicking noise over everything I'm saying, and you're going to regret that.
Oh, really? You hear that?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's all right. It's your video, mate. You're the one's going to be going, oh shit! I've ruined this video with a clicking noise.
Sorry. Okay, so let me understand a little bit exactly what you're doing in terms of. So, how would you compare your model to Steemit, for example?
Well, you see, we've got a funny feeling in a way about looking at these things. We're not looking at things in a competitive stance.
No, of course.
Yeah.
No.
So there are other people doing other things, and I mean, we wish them good luck, and we like their stuff. And so we're not really interested in comparing ourselves to what other people are doing, because there's not a 10-year master plan for this. Okay. There is a application of the idea, which is has gone into ADVFN UK already, which is a big community, is about to go into Investors Hub and ADVFN in the US, which is an even larger community, and it will be an emergent development from there, because a lot of building onto a blockchain doesn't actually have to be in the blockchain and its nodes and its seed nodes and all that stuff, because that's gone. I mean, that blockchain's out there, and we have as much control over that blockchain as we've got, hash rate to throw at it, which we, not really what we're about. What we're about is developing and incubating ideas that use blockchains. And if we had an idea for Ethereum, we would do it on the Ethereum blockchain. So online is not it doesn't see itself as a creator of blockchains or crypto coins. It sees itself as a developer of use cases for blockchain. And this use case is emergent because it lives, it's on the ADVFN community, and that reach of that community will go up to 3 or 4 million users over the next couple of months. And the functionality we bring onto that will really be driven by that community. And whatever great ideas we have, and some of those ideas will be fantastic, and some of them won't be so good, and they will either do well or wither on the vine. I mean, there's going to be functionality which nobody uses, and then will sit there for years on end, and nobody will use it, like any application that you use. And we just see this as a application of the blockchain, and that's what online blockchain is doing, because that's where the value add is. The first generation stuff is, the cryptocurrencies, of course, which are very exciting. But we're now getting into the stage where the value is in the usage case. What use does this coin have? What use does this blockchain have? And that's what we're developing with Plus OneCoin. It's a use case, which is therefore social media. And, all media really is social unless you're broadcasting. And, that use case is very broad. And if we do a good job, which I think we're already doing a reasonable job, we'll have a extremely powerful product, which we can then facilitate amongst other content owners. So it's almost, in a way, the model is slightly like a Red Hat Linux, in as much as they don't, they're not Linux. They just enable people to use the power of Linux. And so what online blockchain is doing is building things that facilitate themselves and also others in the ability to use blockchain for the many things that it is revolutionary about. Yeah. Does that make sense?
So just to discuss a little bit, would you like to discuss the first of all, is the coin traded today?
Yeah, the coin is traded. It's only up on one exchange. We're only live about on Trade Satoshi. We're live now for I think 7 weeks out there as a thing, and they listed it, and that's good. It's got a pretty good price. I think it's about 6 or 7 cents a coin right now, which is pretty good. But the coin is being mined by lots of people, which is interesting, because we do have this big community at ADVFN for lots and lots of people interested in money to find out about. So there's a natural user base, very large user base. One of the reasons why ADVFN is particularly interested in it is because we consider it to be pretty much an educational process. I mean, we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of investors, and they know equities, and they know bonds, and they know Forex, and they know all that stuff. But crypto is totally new to them. And a lot of them are very interested, but they don't know where to start. So this is one way of introducing our user base to the crypto space to get them on the way. They're now discussing mining. They're now discussing coins. They're now discussing all those things and learning from scratch, which so many people have to and are doing right now, what this whole space is about. So, we consider ADVFN, our job is to facilitate, educate, and protect people in the crypto space. So we're protecting them by providing great data. We are facilitating them. There we are. There's a jet flying over me. It's a good sign. There's a the education is incredibly important in this space. and the facilitation is by actually having a coin which they can use and actually make money from if they choose to do so. But I think the education is even more important. That's really the thing that people need the most of. And I wrote a book about how to trade, which is out on Amazon, hit #1 a few weeks ago on their banking section. But we're very, 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 very keen to educate and facilitate in this space.
Very interesting. So how long was ADVFM alive for?
We launched in '99.
Okay.
So we're 18 years old. I mean, our scale comes from the fact we've been going forever. And we're in America, one of the biggest stock communities. We're top 3 in the UK, and we're probably #1. At least top 3. Well, we're #1. Europe, we're 1, 2, or 3 in Europe. So we've got a very, very large footprint of private investors, and they are just waking up to this. Now, most people that are into crypto are not people that invest in equities. They've come to this because they're gamers. They come to this because they're into computing, and they've stumbled into this fabulous world of finance. And they're coming from left field, effectively. Now, the old established people, a lot of them are in shock. I mean, they really don't know where to start. And we've pretty much got all of them, because that's a small niche group. It's small niche, even though it's only 3 million or 4 million people, but it's nonetheless small in comparison. Now, did you just lose connection?
Yeah, we lost
you're back.
Now we're back.
Okay. So we have those few million people.
So how many? No, sorry. My last, because that's what I lost you. So you said that you're 18 years old, and
yeah. ADVFN has been for 18 years, and online incubated ADVFN. It's even an older company. I think it's probably over 20 years old, and it's always been an incubator and developer of technology. And it got into the crypto space in terms of what's going on here just over a year ago, maybe 15 months. Learning curve is like in crypto, it's pretty steep. So it took to middle of last year to kind of know what it was doing, and then out came +1 coin just before Christmas. So it's been on the road for quite some time, and this is its first project.
What's the market cap today of +1 coin?
Oh, market cap, I have no idea, actually. I think probably $1 million.
Let me check. Okay.
It's pretty small. I'm not even sure there's anybody that's got it's not on coinmarketcap.com. Everybody out there in this space is collapsing under the load of traffic, and I'm sure you're experiencing wonderful traffic. We know all about traffic. We serve hundreds of thousands of people.
That's absolutely, that's your key business.
But the potential exchanges, for example, they're all shutting their doors for new clients. They're melting down. So at the moment our footprint is quite small, but I think you'll find our footprint as soon as the other websites get their technology sorted out and scale to the demand. I think you'll see us popping up on more exchanges and popping up on more information sites.
More information or more exchanges. Yeah, more exchanges.
Yeah, I mean, it's not something that we can really influence. If they want to list them, they list them, right? As I said, the blockchain it's a properly open and distributed blockchain. Yeah. And I think that particularly when it goes live in America, as it will in due course, I think that will make quite a splash.
Wow, very interesting stuff.
But we've already had the miners whack us with significant hash rate. We're already receivers of player attention there. So that's quite interesting. So I think that's an early sign of what's going to happen.
Okay, so just trying to understand like your global your overall play, and then there is a so the company is listed also in the stock market.
Yeah, it's listed in London on the AIM
ADVFN.
ADVFN and online blockchain.
Both. Okay. And how old is online blockchain?
Yeah,
it's 1 year old.
Well, online blockchain. Check on the company was called Online until about 2-3 weeks ago. Okay, just before Christmas, we changed the name of the company at an annual general meeting. Before then, it was called Online, and that company was listed in London on the stock exchange in 1997.
Wow.
So it's been on the stock market for 21 years. So
and then I reckon as soon as you changed the name, the stock price went crazy.
Yeah,
Okay.
and it went crazy yesterday and the day and today, and it's gone up from like 20p to it's now £1.60 or something like that.
Yeah.
But of course, it's well, I mean, we had to tell our shareholders, because most of our shareholders have been shareholders for a decade or 15 years. They didn't know what we were doing. And then they don't ring me up and say, are you doing anything? So, we had to come out and say, look, we're doing, blockchain product plus one coin. This is what we're doing. And then it took off from that. But, it's the company which incubated internet companies all those years ago doesn't have a high market cap. It's a tiny market cap. So, us moving in to it's like a coin. It can go from being worth a million bucks 1 week to being worth $1 billion in a month, right? So it just expresses the opportunity. And also we're doing something that's very interesting. It's a new coin. It's a interesting idea. It's speaking to a very large community. I mean, the ADVFN Investors Hub community is a very large community, and large communities make coins worth hundreds of millions, right? I mean, you only have to look at Steam and Kick to see how much a token that speaks to a community content and social community, how much they can be worth. So the fact that we might be worth 10, 15 million bucks today as a company is just a not really relevant to the potential value of this coin as we roll it forward.
That's very interesting. Okay. Good stuff. Very, very interesting. So what other projects do you have other than the...
Because we're a public company, I can't talk about those things. Because that's the sort of thing. Well,
it's true. So you can actually not disclose any project that your company is working on.
No, anything that's price sensitive has to be announced through the through the stock exchange. But I think we have said we are working on projects plural. So we are working on projects plural, and I think anybody that's done any research into this market knows that the potential and what you can do is just so many opportunities. That's so exciting. I think that's the key for anybody at all levels of this. What's the future of this? The future is massive. What's the opportunity? Everywhere you look, there are fabulous opportunities. So, we are moving, I would say, diligently on a few very interesting fronts. And when they come to a point where they're substantial enough for us to announce, we will be announcing them.
Okay. Very interesting. Very interesting stuff. Okay. Any so what should I ask you about? I mean, if you cannot disclose.
Well, I think we covered everything. I think something that I would say to people is, and this is really not for crypto people per se. And I write for Forbes in the US.
Yeah.
And I wrote months ago, the crypto world is coming to a stock exchange near you. It will spill out of the crypto world, which is its own universe, and it will start to spill into the stock exchange.
And you're doing already.
I would keep your eyes as we've done. We're the only listed blockchain company. We were the first in the UK doing what we did.
Yeah,
only a few weeks ago. Yeah, and I'm not making any advice about us. I'm just talking about it in general. This is going to come erupt on NASDAQ, on NYSE, on the TSV, on the TSX, on the Philippine bourse, everywhere. Crypto is going to roll into the stock exchange, and there's going to be a lot of opportunities for investors who know what they're doing, know about crypto, and understand it to make some good investments. So I think that's a new place to look, because everybody wants to know what they should do, and the answer is you got to skill up. You got to educate yourself. You've got to dig deep into this stuff and put a lot of time into understanding it. And the answer isn't do what everybody did yesterday, although in a sense, at the moment you can't really go wrong. But the next thing, the big thing going forward, is going to be crypto meets the stock exchanges of the world, and that's going to be lots of exciting in good ways, and not maybe sometimes not good ways, thing that's going to happen in 2018. And I think what we've done is we've set the tone for that. BTL in Canada has done it. We've done it. We're doing it in the UK, and there will be many others in many other exchanges. So a smart investor will dig deep into equities, dig deep into crypto, and the emergence of those two, the crossover of those two will be one of the exciting themes of 2018.
Hello.
Hi. Are you getting me? No? He froze.
Yes, I'm here.
Are you back? Okay. Did you get all that?
Just the last minute.
Okay. So do you want me to run over it again?
Yes, please.
Well, I mean, there are just a multitude of opportunities in crypto, and everybody wants to know what the next big thing is. Of course, we all do. Well, my tip for that is going to be crypto meeting the stock exchanges of the world, and that is going to be something big that happens in 2018. And there's going to be lots of opportunities for investors that know what they're doing in equities and crypto. So that's the place, one of the places to look for some big developments. Stock exchanges plus Chris, my tip for 2018, and that's going to be big in 2018.
Yeah. Well, thank you very much for your time. I think, I mean, this is a great. I think what you're doing is great, and I think that big 2018 ahead of you, Mr. Clem.
It's going to be just an awesome,
huge.
Just going to be just an awesome year.
It's going to be huge.
Huge. As long as I can get rid of this fucking flu, it's going to be huge for me too.
All right. Well, let's circle back in a few, and
okay,
and then keep in touch. All right. Nice having you.
Nice to meet you. All right. Cool. Thanks very much.
Cheers.
Bye bye.